Hey guys, I am recording on my computer because my camera died in the middle of recording. I have a new one coming. Should be here before the end of the day. But I just wanted to make this video. It's the only one I'm going to do today. It's late. I had my consultation with the oral surgeon. I have never met a more compassionate, kind, caring, and gentle dentist in my life. His hands in my mouth were so gentle. I've never experienced anything like that before. And he was so compassionate. I started to cry because I was talking about how the last time I did it, when I did my wisdom teeth, my mom was still alive. And he said, I am so sorry. And you could just see the compassion in his eyes, even though he was wearing a mask. And I cried on the way home. And I said, thank you, Lord. You eased worry with this guy, you know? And he is an anesthetist. My teeth look weird on this camera. So he knows what he's doing with, the anesthesia and everything. I'll have an IV. I'll be sleeping. I did ask him, is it going to be more pain? Because they're broken and everything. Compared to my wisdom teeth, he said, no, it'll be less pain. Wisdom teeth take more surgery, more work to take out. This won't be that way. Will you be a little swollen, maybe a little bruised? Yeah, but I'm going to give you pain medication. I'm going to give you antibiotics. You don't worry. And it was just, holy cow. I'm ready to go. Sorry about that, guys. I was losing my pants. That's kind of funny. He answered my questions, and like I said, he was so gentle in my mouth. And it was funny. I have a cold sore. See it? And I have one here that healed, but is starting to bother me a little bit again. I had one here literally 2 weeks ago. It's just healed, and I got one here. And I said that to him. I said, I open my mouth, it just goes pop, especially first thing in the morning. He said, oh, I know. That's where I get them, right on the corner of the mouth. He said, I'd be gentle. And he didn't even make me really, my mouth, just like that. So it didn't pull on it. And you could just see in his eyes that he was, he really knew how I felt. Yeah, that hurts. And it just sucks that you have to go to the dentist the day you have a big old cold sore in the corner of your mouth, But I just happened to go to the right one. And I thank God. I'm gonna cry again. I'm sorry. But I do. I thank him so greatly because this dentist is amazing. So the 24th at 3 p.m. I will have my surgery. I'm going to tonight work on writing some cases for March. For the other channel. And I'll do a video here for the other channel as well. Just updating what's going on. So, and the reason that it still hurts is the root is exposed, which I kind of knew. There is no sign of abscess. There's no infection. The infection is gone. There is no abscess. So, he said, you just got an exposed root. And he was just like, I'll take care of you, and he seemed to, you looked in his eyes and he was like, I might get a call from another doctor and I have to take it, because he was waiting for a call. He said, I'm so sorry if I have to leave the room on you, and the Lord has torn down every barrier in my way to doing this. And now that I've met him, I'm ready. I'm ready. and I started to cry, and I told him, like I said, that my mother was with me the last time. He said, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and you could see it in his eyes. Even though he had a mask on, his eyes really spoke to you. And seeing his credentials in that little bio on the wall, and the little addition of he likes to hang out with his wife and his puppy, that's just human, and I love that. But seeing his credentials, both of his residencies that he did, he was chief resident. He went to school in LA, in the Bronx. I mean, Worcester must feel like a small town to him. The Bronx, that's a borough of New York City, and LA is, well, LA. I think there's more people in LA, the city, than there are in the entire state or Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Just saying. So, I mean, he came from the largest city in the country to the second largest in New England, you know. Well, I don't know if New York or LA is actually the largest. I think LA is, and then New York. I could be wrong about that. But I think that's the way it goes. I know they're the two biggest cities in the entire country. I'm pretty sure. Let's find out. Biggest U.S. city. Okay, New York, Los Angeles. List of the 10 biggest cities. Okay. Okay, so we have New York, Los Angeles. Wow, New York's got Los Angeles by a huge margin. Wow, Los Angeles lost a huge amount of population between 2020 and 2023. Anyway, actually, so did New York. But the top two are New York and Los Angeles. Then you have Chicago, Houston, Phoenix, Philly. Let's see, is Boston on this list of the top 10? Yes, it is. Boston, well, no, it's number 25. Sheesh, this is all the cities. There's Providence. That's number 140 something. Trying to find Worcester on this list for all the cities. Manchester, New Hampshire. Where's Worcester? I know Worcester's bigger than Manchester because it's the second largest city in New England. So it's got to be up here. Here it is, 116. Out of the largest cities. They just started shopping for my camera and cards. So that's teeth. And I said to him, I said I had beautiful teeth. No cavities. Then I had chemo. And you could just see him nodding, and you could see his eyes, and he said, it was like he'd heard that before. He'd been there before. He said, and he told me that. He said, chemo's rough on teeth. It's hard. Nobody told me that beforehand. They just told me I needed to go to my dentist, get a good cleaning, and get a good exam before I started chemo. I didn't know that chemo was going to destroy my teeth. Not that it would have made a difference. I had to have it. But anyway, my nose is running. So yeah. My nose is running because I was crying. So I just wanted to share that. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.